Hello everyone, hello loves. Good afternoon and welcome to Sacred Soul. I'm Jennifer and I'll be your instructor for today. And I just had a quick lunch break. I've been busy all morning. And like many of you, need to take a break for myself with this wonderful movement practice that we're about to do. So even if you don't have a lot of time, you can still find time to do this. So also wanted to mention that with women's wisdom comes the reality of how we show up for ourselves when we are on our menstrual cycle. So I just wanted to touch base about that because today is the first day of my menstrual cycle and I want to honor that by not overdoing my energy. And maybe some of you can adapt that into your fitness routine as well. So I'll show you some gentle movements that I'm going to do today that still build a lot of strength and flow in the body and just keep the energy moving, especially while we're menstruating. So join me on the mat or the carpet or wherever you have in your home. I've just cleared a small space here. So we're gonna come down first. And we're just making connection with the floor and the palms. So we'd rise up and lower, lifting the toes as we come down and pushing the toes into the mat as we go up. We're gonna do that a few times. Beautiful. Get nice and big and tall and feel the mat in your feet. Making connection to the earth. Firing up the sit bones as we sit back. You'll see I'm shooting them way to the back, keeping the back nice and tall and up. So lifting those toes as I come down and growing as I come up. Take a big stretch here. Begin to circle. Let the head follow as it needs. Just let it be loose as we circle that energy back in big motion. And now take your legs out wide. And we're just going to keep the palms together and find some different sensations with the floor. So again, feeling the feet on the floor. Keep going in that. I'm just going to adjust my camera so you can see me better. This is a beautiful practice if you've been sitting at your desk all day. So what you're going to notice is our body wants to turn naturally. Just let it do that as you push side to side. And we're going to slowly make these bigger and more expansive as we warm up the body. So really connecting down to the earth right now. This is a beautiful grounding exercise. Let your twist get a little bigger on each side as we go through movements. Beautiful. Come up and take a break. Stretch. You may want to go into a mudra here. Circle the energy around you, building that field of energy around you. And when we breathe, especially during this time of the month, I want you to draw energy up both your legs with each breath into the womb center and out through the heart and out through the womb, building this awesome energy field around us. And now we're just going to bend into goddess and circle up So coming together at the bottom, and breathe out. And just let your breath flow naturally through this movement, and notice we're sitting back. The slower you go, the harder it is. Good. And slowly come back to center. Awesome work, ladies. I know our energy can be lower during this time of month, and so we just want to honor that. So again, we're just going to go back into twist, side to side. Now with each bend in the knee, you're going to be firing through the glutes and the inner hamstring, the groin. Everything's firing and heating up here, right? I'm gonna get some heat in the body. Keeping that spine nice and long and through center. Notice the breath. Just allow it to be there. And now we're gonna add some connection, because what we really need this time of month is a lot of nurturing as we are giving and we are having that energy go out and out of us. We can often get a little bit more sensitive, a little bit more irritable. So this is a special time to be very gentle. So what I'm doing here is just connecting to my bones with my hands. So I'm reaching to the back for the big hip bone here, and I'm just creating love there. And I'm reaching to the front and creating love here. And you can put it on your knee or your shin, but just feel into those bones. They do so much for us every day, and we tend to forget about them. Good. Okay, now you made that connection there. Come back up. And this time we're going to come down into a deeper squat. And this may be as deep as you want to go. If you want to join me even deeper, you can, or warm up to it eventually. But we're definitely going to head down into goddess. And in ancient times, this would have been a position that our mothers and grandmothers would have used a lot. So it's very powerful. So all we're going to do is turn from goddess down and just pick and pull things out of the ground. Pull. Feel the quads firing here. As the slower we go, the harder it is. Come back to squat and go even deeper and see if you can rest. And here I like to imagine us resting by a stream. This would have been a position that a lot of us would have been in ancient times through our practices. This would have been a comfortable position for women to use as they went about their day. So I want you to find that position, and maybe you've never done it before or gone this low, but trust me, it is a position that your body is familiar with. So just open up there. And now we're going to release the hands, and we're actually going to love on this part of our body, on our skin, in our arms, the bones in our arms and our elbows. And maybe you want to wrap your fingers around those, and this could just turn into a gentle rocking back and forth here. Good, just enjoy that little rock. This is a very safe place for our bodies to be. Awesome. Okay, now placing the hands on the floor, come back up, and we're going to full extension of the spine. And this is our first one of the day, so we want to keep the knees bent, tummy to the thighs, and you can even grab your toes and warm them up a little bit right here.
And then begin to just bend and straighten. So you notice my back isn't doing any stretching. It's all in my hamstrings that are taking the brunt of the stretch. Bend. Okay, now one leg at a time. So we're just gonna pedal that out really slowly here. Often in our time of the month, in our cycle, it is the lower back that aches. And this isn't actually a normal symptom. It does mean that there are some stagnant points in the body. And I know it's one, if I don't eat properly and work with my body, that's where my pain at that time of the month is gonna show up. So really love on the back, and you can take your hands out now and stay here. We're gonna go up to tabletop, but we're gonna just put some love into this back body that is so strong. And really feel into our sit bones here, opening them up to the back of the room, our large tailbones as we bend and straighten, and eyes are just gonna be forward. And you might need to breathe. This is actually a very heating movement, even though it's so small. Just staying in this upright and bent over position can be hard. So now we're gonna lengthen that out and draw in and up. So we always wanna end, whenever we draw in to the body, we wanna end with an up. Okay, just to balance out the energy there. Awesome, so we heat it up, wanna keep going. And we're just gonna do a couple quick movements right to the floor, sweeping through, down and through. A few power movements, and you can keep your toes connected with the ground and lift your heels. If you lose your balance, that's okay, as I did. I was too busy talking. But come up, and I want you to feel like there's sort of a wave-like motion at the top here, similar to the grasses that blow in the wind. And this is actually your spine heating up. And there is a lot of bend in the spine, and over time those joints become compressed together and they may feel sticky. So we're going to turn gently side to side, activating the core center here. Keeping the feet firmly planted and activated will stabilize. Good. We're going to take our first slow down dog as we crawl out. We're going to go back to that belly, to the knees movement. And our hands are nice and wide, and we can just stay here for a moment. We can maybe want to wiggle our hips, activate our feet even further into the sides of the feet, the bottoms of the feet. And we don't stay here very long, so from here I want you to come straight down and back into squat. Okay, so that squat position is going to be kind of our home for these practices because it is so powerful. And then we're just going to crawl out like a kitty cat onto the floor. And you can crawl further if you like and just really make those movements big. I just wanted to stay in view so you could see me, but I'm going to do tabletop and go inhale straight into cow and a back bend. So making those really big. Good. Really move, get mobility in that spine. And you can even fold it right through and curl it back. And come through and up and curl it back. And this is gonna feel really good because we are finally releasing those hip flexors that are in the front of our body that work so hard every day. And look up. So praying to the ground and then to the sky. And you may want to clench your lower abdominals, clench your butt here to protect your back as you fold back. And this just becomes like a wave-like motion, and it's very soothing to the body. You may want to stay there, or you can stop, and I'm just going to hang out here in up dog for a minute as I just feel into where I'm at today. And then come up to all fours. Really good. And we're just going to take a moment, because that was a big activation. We're going to take a moment back to settle. So when you come out of activation, I want you to deactivate. So you're actually going to look around the room and take in everything as you move your eyes around the room. Good. And really follow your gaze and don't rush through it. Just really sensing your environment and where you are in your space. It's really beautiful. Great job, guys. Now I did want to do a few lunges today and some upper body, so we'll get to that. So we're actually going to start in this upper upright position and go into a wide lunge here. My knee is on the floor. It can be active as well, reaching, but I'm going to go down to my knee today and up through the ceiling to the ceiling and out and back down and sort of into a lizard pose here. This can also feel great. Now we're going to come back and really hang out for a minute here. And again, connecting to the body, the lower half. We don't spend a lot of time here really in connection with our lower body. So this is your opportunity to really love on the knee, the shin bone, the ankle, or the foot, and just make connection down here for as long as you need. And then bring it back. Good. Let out any sound that is needed, especially right now. And then make connection here again. Shin, toes, knee, and then forward and let it out. Good. Now I'm going to take a natural twist into this one side here and just reach for the sky and open my chest to the ceiling, and that's going to feel great. And you can activate here if you're feeling strong. Activate that back leg and open it up even further, and then come back. And we have to do that on the other side. So the best way to get back from here is to back that leg up and through and into plank, and then switch. So we're going to bring that other leg forward, knee goes down. Now we switch sides and we're going to reach back for the ceiling and then forward, coming into that lizard pose, and my knee can go out or it can stay upright, and I can keep my arm here, however feels comfortable. You can even place a hand here, but I'm going to keep mine out in this position, and I can activate up if I'm feeling strong or not, but I'm going to make connection with my shin here, and then I'm going to back it up and make that connection with my feet and my hands here. Really loving on the lower part of your body today. Good, so feel that stretch in the hamstrings right through the IT bands up into the glute and the hips. This is a tight area for most of us, especially from sitting. So come down and then go through again. Giving yourself a hug in your knee area here, making that connection. And then I'm just going to naturally reach and follow my hand to the gaze in the ceiling, and that feels really warm and wonderful. And again, you can activate up from here if you have the energy. And breathe. And come back around. Good. So again, activate and come through back into plank and into our lovely down dog for a second. And you might feel differently here now. Might have created some space. So great job. And now I just want you to walk forward 2 steps from down dog straight into goddess. And this is our resting pose as well. And we've been down on the floor for a while, so I want you to now stand back up. Maybe you notice some changes since you were up here last. And we've definitely warmed up the lower back and this area. So I want you to feel the difference, and you may take a circular motion with your belly. So just drawing with your belly button in a circular, and mine doesn't quite go in a circle. It's not a perfect circle, and that's fine. But as long as you're attempting to make it circular, you're doing some sacred feminine practices here. And let's reverse. And you can see my hands just naturally take a mudra or a connection here, and that just feels comforting. So do that as you feel fit. And we're just going to slowly bring the hands down. Now, the other thing that can happen this time of the month, which can surprise us, is that we can get quite angry and snappy and irritable. So this is a practice I want to share with you that can intensify the body and get some of that anger out. And so this practice is called punching air, and I want you to try it. We want to get in touch with our anger. We don't want to keep it repressed, and there could be 1,000,001 reasons why we get angry during our cycle, and we don't know why that is. A lot of it has to do with repression that we're not even sure about. So I want you to join me here, finding your center. Breathe in, power down, and tighten here, and we're going to do some air punching. Now with each punch, you're going to let out a loud sound or a huh, so the breath gets forced out. So you're breathing in and out very quickly. And we're just gonna go. And you can move up and down, forcing the air out. Feel the activation and come down. Do 2 of these. And release. Okay. Good job, everybody. Now take a minute. We might need to come back out of that fight or flight and come back to the room. So take a knee or 2, come down to seated, and we're just going to do our orientation practice of taking in our environment. Just like a little animal that comes out of the woods after they got chased by a predator. This is how they would relax and make sure that it was safe. And you are all safe. Good, and then they would come up and do a little shake. Beautiful. Now, let's just relax down one more time, and then I'm going to end the practice for today. It's just a short one. But if any of these moves were very therapeutic to you, I would like you to share and post about it. And also comment, please, on which ones you'd like to see more of, because I will create my content around what you are all needing.
This was the relaxation and activation series that I've created. So thank you for joining me here, and come down to end our practice and really rest in to the floor in whatever pose you find comfortable. We're still deactivating here. Good. And we're just going to sort of start to bob our head back and forth and allow the body to feel warm and juicy again. That spinal movement from side to side. These S movements really lubricate the spinal cord. There's joints and little things in there. So one last final deep breath here before you go back into your day. So reach up. And I give thanks to all of you for joining me here, wherever you may be. Thank you. So much gratitude. Have a wonderful Tuesday.